good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening. It all really depends on where you're at. Today, I am Zeke. Not that I'm not Zeke every other day of the week, but today especially. Today, we've got a fantastic matchup between Starllfall and WND. And I'm super excited for it. We're in the FCT semi-finals, hosted by Harain. With me today is going to be a good friend of mine, Sepulger. Sepulger, the stage is yours.
Hey man, hey Zeke, thank you so much for this opportunity to cast, and thank you to Harain, the organizer, for this. I'm totally hyped up to cast for this FCT game right now. I'm Sepulger, or you can call me Sep. I am from South Africa, and I'm gonna be giving some hype commentary. Hopefully, yeah. I'm also really excited to see these games happen. Zeke, quickly, I forgot to tell you to maybe share your screen because I cannot see anything.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I will do that.
Yeah, but
I will do that. Yeah, that's fantastic.
yeah, I mean that might be quite important for me to effectively do my job here. Yeah.
If there's anything that I have learned, it's you don't need it. You don't need it. That's really all you need. You don't everything except for that.
Yeah.
So
okay, there we go. I don't need to join the tournament lobby then either, so that's all good.
oh man.
Okay, awesome. So Zeke, Team Starllfall versus WND. I do not know anything about these teams, unfortunately. I'm very excited to see what they bring to the table in terms of FCT for the semi-finals today. I guess I need to ask you, would you happen to know about any of these teams tonight?
So I don't know much about WND, but what I do know is a little bit about the history of Starllfall. And although I've not seen Starllfall making it a whole lot into the super high end of gameplay, I have seen them in the past in tournaments do exceptionally well, and I'm hoping that they bring that same energy tonight. With that being said, making it to the semifinals, even in that alone for WND, is an accomplishment and does show some type of ability to play. So I am really hoping that both of these teams are able to bring it tonight.
For sure. So we're going to see that the team is still trying to get into the lobby here. So maybe we could talk a little bit about sort of the current meta in the server right now. Is there anything sort of standing out, sort of heroes that you'd like to discuss? Maybe that would influence the game at all before we get into it.
So I'm going to go straight into showing it. You guys are going to be able to see it here with me. We're going to be looking at actually not quite characters, but some of the most recent patch notes that came out from about 4 days ago, right? And the reason that this is important is because this could affect the gameplay that we see within the tournament itself. All of this different stuff has a direct impact directly on the characters that they're using, and if people are directly picking into the heroes that were more recently nerfed, they might find themselves digging a grave for themselves. So straight into it, we're going to be seeing top of the list, we're going to see that Alice did receive a nerf. Everybody knows, anybody who's been paying attention to any of the competitive scene has known that Alice has been an absolute menace. Alice could stack herself with her mobility onto any hero, and with the life steal spell vamp capabilities of herself, as well as her naturally tanky nature, she has just become a character that was able to 1v5 without a whole lot of difficulty. And while being able to do that, being able to easily blink away, using her own natural skill set, not even a flicker, in just disengaging enemies after 1v5ing with no real hesitation. So what did they do specifically to her? We're going to see that they reduced her damage bonus based on HP, from which scaled from 3.5% to a 6% to a 2.5 to 5%. So only a 1% difference in that, but that little bit of trickle damage should help somewhat. And then also the new effect, the damage bonus based on HP can deal up to 250 damage to 500 damage to creeps. And with that being said, the ultimate did receive a nerf, and hitting creeps no longer reduces the cooldowns of skills 1 and 2. So how do you feel like that might cause some issues within the gameplay if somebody decides to play her?
So I can tell you right now that Emunton did not exactly plan for Alice to be a jungler. that's sort of what that's they're sort of telling us in that sort of sense. Alice was mainly played in the jungle when she like before these changes happened, and she was just absolutely so strong. She was able to clear faster than most other heroes in the jungle because of that percentage damage to the creeps and to Lord. Oh my God, I was seeing some Alice's do like 3,000, 3,500 damages to, like to Lord and Turtle, and that's like 1,000 more damage than Retribution, and it just made it so easy to work around. I can safely say that Alice Jungle is not a viable pick anymore, just because the clear is too slow because of the fact that your skills are not reduced by the cooldown from hitting creeps. So she's going to be jungling real slow and doing very minimal damage to Lord with that cap to the amount of damage you do with your second skill. I feel like Alice could still be relevant, maybe in an XP lane or a mid lane potentially, but definitely nowhere near as strong as she used to be.
Yeah, well said, well said. The next up on the topic of these heroes that were recently altered is going to be the Brody as well as the Claude. And the reason that I want to talk about both of these heroes is because we have seen these two heroes so consistently not only used, but dominating in competitive gameplay. So with the Brody, they said we want his ultimate to be used more cautiously for reaping instead of clearing lanes. So they nerfed the cooldown time of his ultimate from 24 to 18 second scaling to 13 to 24 second scaling. So they made it to where now the fastest cooldown that you could achieve naturally without, cooldown reduction bonuses stacking, it is now in its best form the starting point of where it was before, which means there's going to be an exponentially humongous difference in their ability to just pop that ultimate. And with that being said, they also altered the first attack's damage. It used to be 340 to 580 damage plus 180% extra physical attack, but now it is 300 to 540, so they dropped it by about 40, which is just over a 10, roughly a 12% difference naturally from where it starts to where it finishes. And on top of that, they dropped it from 180% extra physical attack to just 165 extra physical attack. And what do I think that means for him? It means that he's not going to be able to use that ultimate and just spam it. And with that being said, he's not going to be able to just use that first skill to just lay damage through. Because that first streak does a lot of damage. And that's been such a useful tool to even be used for skill check or bush checking. And I think that by altering it and making it not so effective definitely is a step in the right direction. On top of that, we see a nerf also in Claude, and they said Claude's extremely high mobility has made him very active in the higher ranks, and we decided to reduce his mobility slightly. How dare they? How dare they jump into that nerf and reduce the mobility of Claude, which is literally his whole selling point. Everything about Claude is the fact that he's mobile. So what did they do? They reduced his blinking effects cooldown from 11 to it was 11 seconds down to 8.5 seconds naturally, and then now it is 13 seconds down to 10.5 seconds naturally. And although some of you guys might be looking at it and saying, "Hey, maybe that 2 seconds isn't a whole lot," it's not a lot, right? But you're talking about a 20 to 30% difference naturally occurring. 2 seconds isn't a lot, but when you're talking about an something that was down to an 8 seconds, I mean, that's 10% of that would be 0.80, right? So you could multiply that almost by 3 to bring you up to that 10.5. So you are essentially looking at almost a 30% natural increase on that. And I don't know that I agree with it. I think that Claude was super strong, absolutely, but do I think that he was so overbearing with how he was using that skill to just absolutely dictate the upper level gameplay? Not really, because again, Claude is a difficult hero to effectively use, and it is because of that mobility. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think definitely you're right with that. That 2 seconds means the absolute world in many situations. Those 2 seconds is going to be the time that your team can help you, or the time amount that the enemy team can help you out as well. And like dude, we already know how much 2 seconds is, because that's like a whole Franco ulti basically, amount of time, and we can see how effective like that duration of time is that Franco can show you. And also, I just wanted to go back to the Brody real quick as well. That just Brody is such a lane bully, and in order to for him to be able to use his ult off cooldown whenever he'd like to clear lanes is such a powerful tool, and that I feel like that nerf was more deserving compared to Claude in that context, was because just being able to be a lane bully and have lane clearing capabilities with his ult like that is just such a powerful combination, and that was really deserved.
Absolutely, I agree so much. One second.
Yeah. No worries. I guess I'll take over just for a second here. Looks like we have both WND and Team Starllfall are in the lobby together. So we're going to be starting the game just about as soon as Zekiel manages to get back here. I'm as I said, very keen to see these teams showing me what I can sort of expect from this, from the North American region. I do think I need to maybe ask Zekiel to maybe leave the Team Starllfall there, unless he's playing. However, that might be interesting to watch.
I mean, it's a possibility in the future, but we will consider. Sorry, it sounded like somebody was going outside of my house with an entire barnyard full of animals screaming, and just overpowering. I'm not sure if you guys could hear them, but I know I could hear them, and it made it hard to focus.
Oh yeah, I think we managed to hear a little bit, but no worries. I think it's not the biggest discrepancy here. As we see, we're still waiting for about 2 members. I mean, yeah, 2 members left, one from each team to start this game out. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm definitely excited, and sadly, we're not going to be able to cover all the bases with all of these different heroes. We do see real quick, we do definitely still see the immediate change in a Melissa getting a buff. We saw Moskov getting a buff. We saw Farza getting a buff. Yve, Yin, Fanny of all heroes, which is absolutely crazy. I still can't believe they made Fanny stronger.
I know a good reason for that. Personally, for the Fanny and the Yin, I can tell you exactly why they were buffed, and that reason is because of their upcoming collaboration with Attack on Titan. The Fanny, obviously, with the Mikasa Ackerman, and Yin with the Eren Yeager, and I'm very excited for those skins to come out. And Moonton said, "Hey, we want people to play these heroes and get motivated to buy these skins. Hey, why not? Let's just buff them up, make them playable."
I am so excited for the Attack on Titan collaboration to come up. You were just talking about it, and it's probably a really good reason for why they decided to buff it, just to help really promote the Attack on Titan collab. But man, I saw some of the artwork for these heroes, and I don't have it here, so don't hold it to me, and don't burn me on a stake. But I'm pretty stoked for it.
No, me too as well. I mean, I guess I have one concern about it, is that, okay, well, there's 2 main concerns actually I have about the skins themselves. Is that obviously Mikasa, Fanny, that's going to be very easy to do. That's going to be really epic and really cool to see. But the Yin, I mean, how are we going to fit that Titan, that huge Titan, into the domain of Yin's ultimate? And secondly, Levi Ackerman's known for his speed, and I personally feel like Martis is just sort of a like a snail kind of hero when it comes to his skills. Like his second skill, he's just sort of doing a slow little dance. So I'm very interested to see how they're going to approach them in terms of making it a nice cosmetic adjustment.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, I mean, I never really watched Attack on Titan a whole lot. I can't even front with you guys about that. I love some of the animes, but I always tried to avoid some of the mainstream stuff just because how many people were watching it. So it's kind of hard to be like, oh, I'm going to do the same thing as everybody else. But I do think that being able to put it into a collab is a really smart idea, because now, right, like now, as somebody who consider myself to be quite involved within the Mobile Legends community, I feel like I have to watch Attack on Titan now to really be able to bring the benefit out of it. So it's like,
yeah,
you know.
Okay. sorry to interrupt you there, Zeke. I'm getting a message from Harain right now. He's telling you to please make yourself out of that player section on the lobby.
Am I in the? Oh, and was I in it?
Yeah, you're in a player. That's why I was saying, are you gonna be playing for Team Starllfall right there?
My mistake. My mistake. Maybe I was supposed to be playing. Maybe Zeke ready to put it down.
Hey man, I would be down to see some first person action into the stream, but unfortunately we're not going to be able to see that just now. We're going to be going straight into the first game here with Vader choosing head. So we're going for the coin flip to see who gets the first pick and second pick. Yeah, I mean, obviously most teams, I would argue, do prefer the first pick in this sort of meta right now, just because of how many strong individual heroes are available to pick up. And yeah, I mean, second pick is still pretty good. It just depends on how well you can draft your team and make sure that you get that last pick for yourself and how effective you can make it.
So me personally, I prefer to have the second option just because I know that I'm going to be able to finish my team composition later on, and I like to finish picking after I know. If I've got the ability to pick that S4 slot, I absolutely want to do that because I do feel like it gives me the long-term advantage whenever you're talking matchup. So they can take whoever they want to begin with. For me, in my personal experience, you can have it.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, quick bans coming from both teams here. Matilda and Nana taken straight away out of the hands of each other. We're going to see, I mean, the Nana pick. I mean, we were talking about that earlier. Now, that is a pick that we sort of discussed as to be quite strong. Maybe not meta defining, but still quite a powerful tool in the right hands.
Yeah, absolutely. So maybe there's more to this Nana pick than we originally thought. Maybe Nana is meta.
Oh man,
is that the thing?
I mean, we've been seeing it just totally dominate in the few games we saw on T9. That was basically untouched. Pretty much no deaths on this hero. It's just so hard to kill. It's such a as we like to say in South Africa, it's such a schlep. You know, you have to commit so many resources in order to finish off twice. As we can see as well, Team Starllfall gonna ban out the carry as well. Maybe potentially picking some tanky heroes for themselves. And Nolan, I mean, there's not too much else to be said about that ban.
Well, carry, definitely a character. You know, they could play carry as a tank, but carry in itself is still a counter to so many different heroes. So many of these different heroes don't have huge ranges, and if you can't outrange carry, you can almost guarantee you're not going to out DPS her, because anybody who has ever gotten close to a good carry has found themselves dead.
For sure. And also we've been seeing quite a popular sort of build for her with the brute force breastplate, as well as some true damage stacking and some defense on top of that as well, because just, you know, with her passive, you don't really need those sort of steroids to her on hit effects, and all you needed really is just that golden staff to be able to proc your passive a lot more, and then you can just go haywire with all the tanky items. And that's been quite popular for sure, as we're going to see another 2 bans coming out from both teams.
We do see the Wan ban coming up, and we do see the Guinevere ban both coming up. You know, I know that they are banning off the Wan, and we do see, oh wow, we see the Alice. We were just talking about it, locked in as the S1 pick, and that's kind of surprising. That's really surprising. How do you feel about that?
I was just about to put my feelings into this perspective, and they're not feeling great, Zeke. With those changes to the Alice jungle, where you cannot reduce the cooldowns of your first and second skill from hitting minions, that's gonna really hinder her ability to clear the jungle, as well as that damage cap on the creeps as well. It's just gonna hurt so much for taking objectives such as Lord. I feel like it still could work. It's totally not a cold turkey when it comes to this Alice jungle pick, but definitely nowhere near as effective as it was pre-nerf.
Yeah, absolutely. Alice, again, you know, we just went through some of these buffs, and I'm really glad, buffs and nerfs, and I'm really glad that we did, because, you know, that really just brings into the effect exactly what we're talking about. where we know that Wanwan's getting ready to get her nerf. She's getting ready to get that reduction in her ability to effectively move. It's not a reduction in her damage, but a reduction in the distance that each one of her little steps after a basic attack is going to give her. So her mobility and her ability to chase and get away from people chasing her is just going to be exponentially diminished. So
yeah, even with that little tiny bit of dash reduction of that thing, that really stacks up once you're doing multiple attacks like with Inspire. It could mean the difference between landing that last hit on that final weak spot for Wanwan to activate her ulti. So that, I mean, definitely that hasn't happened yet, so definitely still a hero to be worth banning out at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. And with that being said, we do see Kiramoto picking up a Brody, and and we see a name I don't even know how to pronounce picking up the Claude. So we're going from all of these heroes that were just so blatantly nerfed, and we literally just read it to you guys and just straight into it. So the question is was the nerf enough, or are these guys coming into it blind?
Oh man, I mean, they were probably, I mean, I might have an explanation for what they're sort of thinking here, is that maybe they were just like playing with these heroes so much as a team, and now they're really comfortable with how these heroes work. So they're going to go past the nerfs and still continue to synergize with each other with these picks that they have been practicing.
And that's absolutely a viable thing to do. One of my favorite expressions as somebody who enjoys going out of way to coach people and help people learn not only how to play the game, but teach other people how to play. One of my favorite expressions that I made was meta comforts are better than comforts are better than metas.
Yeah.
And what does that actually mean? Meta comfort, a meta character that you're comfortable playing with is always going to be your best option. But outside of that, what you're good at playing and comfortable playing is going to be better than something that's really good, because something that's really good that you don't know how to play is never going to be useful to you.
Yeah, I can totally agree with that on many fronts. We're going to see Diggy being banned out with the Tigreal. So yeah, I mean, Team WMD, if that's WND, they did ban out the Diggy, opening up a potential like a Tigreal or Minotaur pick coming from them, and they do pick up the Minotaur. So we're going to see some spicy team fights coming in from WND with the R-Lot, and Claude is going to have a really good time playing off his team with this amount of control.
I'll tell you what, I definitely agree, and I'm definitely excited. Whenever we're looking at the red team, we're seeing the R-Lot, we're seeing the Minotaur, and just even those two heroes in themselves, the ability to set and make huge plays is so awesome.
Exactly that. A hero we haven't talked about yet is this Novaria. I am a big fan of this hero. I feel like it provides so much utility in the fights, and they're not lacking that much magic damage just because they have the Alice jungle as well. And late game, it's just such a menace. You don't want to be hit by those astral spheres, or you're just going to be out the team fight. It doesn't matter if she kills you or not. You're not going to have enough HP to engage anyway.
Absolutely. Astro Echo is definitely one of my favorite ultimates within all of Mobile Legends, because whenever you're looking at the slowing effect that's coming from, and that giant wave that causes slowing effects on everything that it touches, while also increasing the hitbox range on these heroes, it is so helpful in so many different directions.
Okay, Zeke, it's that time of the game here to tell me, what draft do you prefer from these teams? We've had a few other pickups, including this Paquito, this Angela, and this Valentina. So exactly who do you think has the favor between these two?
Man, it is so hard to say. As a team fighting composition, I do like the capabilities of the R-Lot and the Minotaur stacking on top of each other, especially when they give that blazing duet for the Claude. Just able to run right through it. I definitely think it's going to be huge. I think they've got a lot of really cool things that they can play together with. But I think overall I prefer. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm crazy, but I'm loving the Brody. I'm loving the Paquito. I'm loving the Alice, all paired with the Angela. The diversity that you're going to get from that, and your ability to sustain your way across the entire map versus, Merciless and I Love Mercy, who are just going to be looking to fight as a unit. I definitely think I am favoring. I'm favoring blue team.
Okay, I think I also managed to forget the name of the team, but Team Starllfall for sure have a very, very strong draft. when it comes to these pickoffs. I really like the Angela with the Alice. That's definitely proven to be such a strong combo between both teams here. Zeke, before we get too much into the action, I'm wondering if there's any chance you could quickly remove this this pop-up in the middle of the stream that is on the Discord stream.
Oh yeah, I mean I can possibly do that.
Oh, there we go. Perfect. Thank you so much.
I didn't even do anything.
No, that's fine. But yeah, coming from Team WND, they're going to be really strong with these team fights. Team Starllfall needs to be very careful about how they approach late game fights. Otherwise, they're going to just get controlled and bursted down by this Claude.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing it already. We're seeing Minotaur being really good at being present, you know, doing exactly what he does and trying to give coverage. Oh, poor Valentina almost threw herself back into the wolves. Really tough to watch.
First blood coming in from Team WND with the Lunox. Kush, or maybe that's not the greatest word to say on stream. But it's going to pick it up for herself. And Beta getting gone on a little bit here, but nothing really too much. But a great pickup. You know, that's going to boost the advantage for Team WND to maybe make this Lunox a big threat.
We do see a little bit of interaction going with Merciless and Vader, you know, trying to check each other. But honestly, as strong as Arlet is, I'm not sure that once they hit that level 4, I'm not really sure about his ability to take Paquito on by himself. 4 seconds away from being with the next, or with the first turtle up. I'm really excited to see how these two teams decide to approach locking it down.
Okay, as I've talked about before just now, Alice doesn't really have that extreme sort of damage to secure the turtle with, so she's going to have to be careful. She's not even going to approach the team fight. Lunox is going to snipe it out for herself in the backline. The final slash is in onto this Alice. It's going to kill her. Team WND having a great advantage in this early game, securing the turtle and another kill.
Yeah, beautiful gameplay for sure. I love the fact that as soon as the team fight happened and the turtle was secured, the rest of the team showed up, and that allowed Arlet to successfully get away without dropping because he was so close.
Yeah, and another thing is just they were doing such a good job of zoning that Alice, not even giving her an opportunity to maybe contest that with a retry sort of coin flip. And yeah, I mean, Team Starllfall, they need to sort of start playing together a bit, maybe they're just waiting for a timing to come out. We'll have to see.
Man, look at the mobility in Claude. Those dashes are so beautiful. You really can't, even if you get a little bit of damage on him, just like that, he's in and out.
Oh, there we're going to see the Lunox going in with the ulti, with the Chaos Assault. Maybe gets the Angela kill. Yes, he will. The Minoan Fury does land onto this Brody as well. It's going to be a double kill for Kush. I mean, she's already finished that Enchanted Talisman, and that's going to be so dangerous right now.
I'll tell you what, too, man. 4-0 is Kush. That's a whole lot of extra gold that she's got that's going to allow her to separate over. So, like, if you look at Alice versus you looking at Lunox, you'll see almost 1,000 gold gap between the two already at the 3-minute and 40-second mark on the map.
Oh, there we go. We can see the Heart God along with the Alice. She's going to go straight away in and try and fight this one out. But they're going to get away on Team WND. Alice trying to keep up the pursuit here. I don't think she's going to be able to finish off the kills. She's going to get terrified by this Valentina. And Lunox is just going to pick off Angela once again on the side. She's 5-0.
Absolutely, dude. Not being able to secure these 2 or 3 different kills on the Arlet definitely hurts because they've been fighting to do it, but with all of the beautiful team coverage that we've been seeing from WND, it's just so impossible to get your hands on him.
Okay, Claude, just playing it a bit sneaky here, giving Team WND a bit of vision to maybe approach this turtle with. I mean, Alice doesn't a bit lacking on the farm here. Gonna try and secure the blue buff for herself, but look at that turtle speed by Kush.
Insane, absolutely insane. But I will tell you what, I do think that the Starllfall team does have a lot of they've got a little bit of a sustained magic damage with the Alice. But whenever you pair that with the Angela on top of the Navario, it might just be too much. And I'm wondering if they're going to be able to build against that on the side of WND. Because I feel like if they do, they can really cut a couple players out of that team.
Oh, the Astral Echo actually lands onto this Brody. He's maybe going to get taken out completely here. He's going to barely make it with the help of the Angela healing him up. Whew, that damage, dude.
Yeah, beautiful escape by Kira. Beautiful escape. 0-6. We're seeing a 4,000 gold deficit against WND. It's tough, man. What do you think? What do you think is going on in these guys' heads right now?
Oh, they need to just sort of buckle up and make sure that they get these important shutdown kills. Exactly what they did just now to Merciless. Really good kill onto the R-Lot here. Unfortunately, not the biggest priority target, but hey, a kill's a kill, man. You need to really just take these opportunities to come back into the game and get that shutdown gold and experience.
I think for sure if they can find a way to, even if they aren't able to shut down Lunox, I do think that if they can cut down the Valentina and the Minotaur, they can open up a great opportunity for them to win a nice team fight and overtake. Ooh. And as soon as you land that, you can start invading that jungle.
Oh, this is a good opportunity for Team Starllfall to maybe take this, because the Minoan Fury, it actually whiffed. So now Brody onto the sidelines here, going onto the R-Lot. I don't know if that's the best target to start off with, but both teams going to disengage. Unfortunately, as I said, the Minoan Fury missed, so that's going to be a resource taken away possibly for the turtle fight. Although, I don't feel like Alice is going to be able to approach it just because of how strong the pressure around the map that Team WND is making.
Yeah, for sure. I do want to see... I really want to see Starllfall take this next turtle. They need to find a way to put themselves back in the fight. You know, Kush does a whole lot of damage, but if they prep themselves, it's nothing that they can't buff out. But they definitely need to start playing together, because that is the big difference that we're seeing between these two teams. Is WND is doing a fantastic job of overlaying their heroes and covering each other's backs.
Oh man, look at that. Again, with that turtle damage from this Lunox Kush, with that Season Hunter and that percentage damage, it's just so impossible to, if you're ahead, it's so impossible to contest turtles because it's gone by the time you try to start it. And again, Paquito in his lane, gonna get taken out for the second time. We're seeing that Demon Hunter sword for Claude coming into play here, starting to rack up that damage so much with those on-hit effects.
WND doing a fantastic job of putting a whole lot of pressure on the side of Starllfall. It's working now, but we're gonna find out if it's gonna work long term, because the thing is...
Ooh. Oh, we're going to just stop you there. We're going to see a Minoan Fury. It actually lands onto 2 with the final slash to initiate with the Blazing Duet. He tried to do as much damage as he can. It's not going to be enough. Although, his team is going to clean it up for him. It's going to be a double kill for this Valentina, Mr. Churro something. I can't read that, unfortunately, at the moment. But, I mean, that started to look quite grim for Team WND. They were starting to come back for Team Starllfall, but they converted it into yet another good team fight.
Beautiful save by Angela, keeping Paquito in the fight. And you know, exactly what I was trying to say earlier is WND is doing such a fantastic job at being aggressive, but I hope that it's not something that bites them in the back long term. A lot of teams that I see find themselves in a fantastic groove of controlling the early game, but by playing too aggressive and overstepping just 1 or 2 times can really take away your team's ability to win some good fights.
That final slash was just on the tip of it, man. That was like insane. And Angela got dragged straight out of her tower. Absolutely no chance to get away. Even with the help of the flicker, she was so far out of position. I feel like you can't get away from it.
Yeah, it's tough. R-Lot is so on point. Again, you know, in his ability to evade some of these fights, and his ability to grab on and pick off some of these heroes, they're doing fantastic. Almost 10,000 gold difference between the two. It's sitting right around 8.5, 9,000 gold actual, but rearing that 10,000 mark, coming up on the 9-minute mark.
Oh man!
Oh my! Look at that!
We're just gonna. I mean, what is that, Moonton? You're busy nerfing Claude here, but have you seen that lord damage from Lunox, bro?
So, yeah. I definitely think we might see a Lunox ban coming up the next match. Look at that. That is so insane.
And Lunox is a hero that benefits greatly from the cooldown reduction. Oh, we're going to see the final slash. It lands onto 3 with the flicker coming in from R-Lot. Minotaur with the follow-up as well. The Heart God has to come out onto this Alice, onto the Brody in order to keep him safe from this huge amount of damage. And now they've lost 2 important members. I don't know if they're going to be able to defend this high ground with this Lord coming in.
Hey, if there's a will, there's a way. Paquito, hoping to try to make a set, does manage to make a nice set, but that Brilliance pops. Minotaur being super invasive, they do manage to cut down the Brody.
Oh my god, that was insane. Lunox presenting herself, just baiting herself in, like, hey, I'm gonna dive into your high ground, come and kill me. But Minotaur with the backup and has the save for her with that Flask of the Oasis is just keeping her alive for so long. Another final slash by
man.
Arlott.
That
Oh
Blazing
my
Duet
God.
is absolutely cutting through the enemies. I can definitely say I understand it, especially stacked on top of the brilliance from Kush. That overwhelming damage is so hard to fight.
Oh my god, that's going to be game one going to WND in utterly dominant fashion. I mean, as you said, we're definitely going to be seeing a Lunox being banned out or maybe stolen from Kush. He seems to be using this hero so incredibly effectively, and you don't want to play against that, man.
Yeah, dude, that was a way different game than I was expecting to see. Again, because my natural favor was for the Starllfall lineup. I just felt like they had a lot more to provide, but they just couldn't find themselves working around that overwhelming gameplay of WND. But just like that, we are going to get into our second matchup.
We're going to see this Nana being banned out once again. I mean, listen, man. I think this hero is onto something. I genuinely believe so.
Man, I'll tell you what, though. Lunox has to get banned. Claude, I think, has to get banned because their ability to play these heroes is just so wild.
Oh man, okay. Another Matilda ban. Not going immediately into the Lunox ban. I mean, we might not even see it coming out. I mean, obviously there's more options just to banning it out. Maybe picking heroes into it that are much more favorable. That's always an option. It's never too late to try and think up something on the spot.
Absolutely, and I agree. And I think that a lot of the success that we saw from WND did have to do with some of the characters that we're playing. Again, although that all-in team fighting capability and style really isn't a style of my own, but they were so good at making it happen again. And those ability to step on each other and keep that consistent CCs happening, there was just nothing that Starllfall could do. So I definitely think they need to start looking at banning some of these heroes off and banning them soon.
Oh, we're going to see another carry ban. I mean, this is a repeat of game one in terms of the ban so far. The carry Matilda being taken out. I mean, maybe they're just going into it with the same similar sort of game plan, although tinkering it up a little bit just to make sure that they do have answers for these strong picks.
Absolutely, and we do see a Diggy ban going on, which means that we might see another high CC based team.
Okay, so Team Starllfall, they did ban the Tigreal at this point. So maybe this is going to be where it starts to be shaken up a bit. I suppose the Tigreal is still a big of a threat if they don't decide to ban it, just because I think Tigreal is such a strong hero still.
Lunox,
with that, with the implosion.
Lunox, ban the Lunox.
I mean, we need
that Lunox is a menace.
We need to see it. I think I have to agree with you here. I don't think they should let Kush get the Lunox.
And they go with the Guinevere. Oh man,
I'm not going to be surprised. I'm not going to be surprised to see a Lunox first pick here, unless they do pick this Barretts and maybe Team WND do take the Lunox for themselves. That could be an option.
That is an option, but will it be the right option? And we do see a Lunox picked.
Oh my god.
But this Lunox isn't held by Kush, so will this be a mid lane, or do you think it's more likely that they're going to swap it off?
I mean, this is a flex pick if I've ever seen one. They may be baiting it in a bit, they're telling Team WND, hey, we're going to pick this Lunox again, and you're going to have to deal with it again. But now they could do the mind games and push it to the mid, so now they're going to draft all of their heroes against this Lunox, and it's not even going to be in the position you thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that going with the Arlott in the S1 pick is definitely a safe pick. There's not a whole lot of easy responses that are like, hey, just shoe-in choices saying, hey, pick Arlott, I'm going to pick this, and I'm going to win 100% of the time. Being not a super overly countered hero definitely still leaves a lot of really great drafting options for the team.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we're going to see Claude taken away now. Okay, we're going to start seeing those. This is two picks that are taken away from the side of Team WND here. So already starting to look pretty hopeful in terms of how this game might go.
Yeah, I'm quite interested. I know that they at first were showing a floor, and I'm glad they didn't lock the floor in because I don't feel like that would have made a whole lot of sense on top of the Lunox. And picking the Minotaur definitely still opens things up, especially when you're talking about the Leslie stacked on top of it, a character that can damage-wise outplay the Claude so early in the match. And by keeping his distance and pairing him or her well placed basic attacks as well as her first skill camouflaged attacks is really going to be an exceptional use when paired with that Minotaur.
Oh yeah, I think Leslie is a very good pick into Claude for 3 reasons. I might add is one of the reasons is that she stays away from the middle of the team fights, as you said, keeping her distance from any sort of Blazing Duet opportunities. Secondly, the Blazing Duet will not attack Leslie while she's invis. So it's going to be, if she manages to outplay Claude in that regard, it's going to be absolutely just detrimental. And thirdly, obviously, if you don't counter this Leslie, Claude is very susceptible to just getting destroyed by that truck of damage from Leslie's first skill.
Absolutely,
So,
but something I do want to pay a little bit of attention to is the composition that we are seeing coming from You're What I Need, Kiramoto, Vader, that's a lot of sustained damage. That's not a whole lot. I definitely think if some of the heroes on WND decide to pick up, an Anti-Cuirass, especially if any more physical heroes come out with it, they're really going to be able to punish. They're really going to be able to punish them for picking all of these physical heroes. We see a little bit of diversity coming from the Lunox's burst and sustained magic capabilities, as well as the burst capability coming from the Leslie, but we don't see that really coming from the Fanny or the Arlet or the Claude.
Okay, I mean, talking about the Fanny, okay, we were saying that this hero has been buffed. I can't exactly remember what was sort of buffed about it, possibly her damage, I believe. But I really like it into this matchup so far. Minotaur doesn't really have the reliable sort of stun to sort of catch her with. And yeah, Leslie and Lunox are quite a bit of sitting duck sort of action for Fanny to maybe just come in and swoop those kills up if she gets fed.
It's also worth saying that with the Fanny and the Claude, that's a lot of mobility stacked up, and I definitely think that they're putting themselves in a position to do a lot of split push play styling. So I definitely think, I definitely think by picking some heroes like Minzathar or somebody like that, they're really going to be able to shut down some of the effects of the enemy team if they decide to slot someone like that on their EXP lane.
Oh, there's the classic Kufra against the Fanny matchup. I mean, if they pick it up, it's definitely going to be a very solid answer for it. Although, I might just notice that they already have a Roma. Maybe we might see Kush picking up the first time being seen Kufra jungle. What do you think about that?
I don't know. I definitely think they're going to swap the... I definitely think they're going to be swapping off the Lunox. I definitely think, again, though, that I would love to have seen a Minzathar pick here because that King's Calling can shut down the Fanny, it can shut down the blinking effects of the Claude.
Oh, there it is. I was right.
Wow, they locked in a jungle Kufra?
Oh man, Zekiel, I can't explain to you how excited I am to see Kush, how he manages to utilize this hero against this team. I don't think I've ever seen this in my whole entire career.
Yeah, you know what? I can't even say I hate it. Because you know what? Props to them for being creative. And if they do decide to swap out some of these heroes, cool. But honestly, at this point, I think they should send it. I think creativity is what creates the meta.
I mean, if Team Starllfall was to look at the stream right now, they'd be like saying, "What the hell?" They're not going to be able to sort of see that right now before they pick their battle spells and emblems. So they're going to be in for a shock as to when they see the battle spells coming in from Team WND.
Absolutely, and again, we are seeing a little bit more of a team fighting capability coming through, but let's see if it's going to be enough to shut down the WND folks.
Okay, here we go straight away in. I mean, it's the time of a game again. What do you think about this team? Who has the advantage in these drafts.
I think the winner of this game is very dependent on who does better. I think the team that is doing the best will win in the Land of Dawn. I don't think, based off of the gameplay that I saw last match, I definitely think if WND keeps the heat and pressure on Starllfall, that they're going to be able to win the match, regardless of who I think is doing a little bit better, because they've already showed that they absolutely know how to play. And that's something that beats all.
Yeah, I mean, interesting gameplay coming in from the XP laner of Team WND here. Was attempting to take the blue buff and start it up for the Kufra, but he decided to not follow it up. As now Kufra at least has started up, had a bit of help. I mean, he's going to need the help to clear the jungle. I don't believe Kufra is too fast when it comes to clearing camps.
Yeah, I mean, I think a little bit of help might be great. But, I wonder if they're going to go with a tank build Kufra or if they're going to run it on damage.
Ooh, I know that Kufra does benefit from attack damage, in the way that he has like percent damage based on his HP, and that percent damage is increased about in order how much attack damage you have. So maybe we'll see maybe one damage item. I don't believe going full damage is the right choice though.
Fanny, just getting her level 4, might be looking to start getting some invasions on Dirith, which him being such an early game character could absolutely help Arlet snowball that side of the map.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, quite a passive game here. Both teams last game managed to feel themselves out about how they play. Although I'm just going to eat my words completely. Straight away, first blood goes into the hands of this Fanny. And yeah, that's a great kill to pick up.
Yeah, I mean, a mid lane is a place to do it too. Mid lane being the most, I don't want to say the most important lane, but most important lane. Once you start taking away that inner turret, as soon as you can do it, you open up nice safe invasions for your team to take advantage of. And once you cut away that Kufra's ability to actually farm, already being a Kufra, I definitely think that in itself could cause them to drown out. So it's going to come down to can they do it.
Ooh, the Tyrant's Rage, along with the Retribution, they're going to secure the blue buff away from Fanny. That's going to be absolutely huge. Fanny's going to have a really tough time contesting this turtle. But as you can see, both the XP laners in the top here have their level 4s, so they're going to be trading it out a bit here. Ooh, Arlott maybe getting bursted down a bit. Will be finished off by the Lunox for some reason. I don't know how she got that kill. She wasn't even there.
Beautiful evasion from Dirith. That Fanny came in with the Cutthroat trying to secure what they thought was going to be an easy kill, and Dirith managed to use his flicker and get out of there and just was able to clear some minions, and he's keeping right up in it. So I think he might start on a second attempt for the turtle.
Okay, there we go. We're going to see it being started up here. I mean, Kufra doesn't even need to do anything here because his team is going to... just with that, he's just sitting back on vacation while his team does all the hard work for the turtle there.
I do want to take a second to really recognize, too, how... Implosion popped.
Coming up. Yeah, and coming in from Tig, it's going to hit really easily with the Astral Echo. And Claude, with the Blazing Duet, it's not going to be able to defend his... I mean, no, excuse me. He's on the same team. But yeah, it was a quick kill coming in here. And now Lunox gets the shutdown kill. Not the shutdown kill. What am I even talking about, Zeke? I'm just...
Hey, man, sometimes the place is a crazy place. Man, sometimes the minds just don't quite work. And that's all right.
Yeah, exactly that. Okay, interesting pickup from Navaria. Finishes the Enchanted Talisman. As we're going to see a team fight brewing in this blue buff. They definitely don't want to let this Fanny have access to it. Go, Tig! Just barely manages to make it out. I don't know how he made it out of there. And Fanny's going to come in straight away with a Cutthroat. Going to get 2 kills, maybe. Oh, she's going to get taken down, though. And Arlott maybe wants to finish off Kush.
No
but he's gonna
way.
Make it on 0 health.
No way.
Oh my god, and it's going to be a double kill for Lunox in the end.
First Tigreal, then Kufra. That is wild.
And basically Leslie as well. She made it out of 0 HP and finishes off the
kill. No, she didn't! Oh, man. Wow. What a team fight that just went down. That was insane to watch. Beautiful gameplay from both sides. And it's crazy because we're seeing all this 5 and 4, 13,000 gold to 11,500 gold, but we've not seen anybody do any real damage to even the golden layers of the turrets.
Yeah, it's just some insane team fights here. I can't even say that they were intense. They were just like it was just growing. I mean, but there were so many players that were on low HP making outplays, and it was just so amazing to see.
I was saying though earlier, I do really want to take a second to say how cool it was that Moontown did involve the quickness with the river.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a game-changing sort of gameplay sort of like change. I mean,
it's cool because I think
like,
they did it with the intention of trying to allow people to approach the turtle faster and get to those team fights more. But it's so funny to see some of these teams saying, "Hey, we don't even care about that turtle. We're going to expedite our attack on you."
Oh, Dyroth does get the flicker with his ulti. Oh, with the final slash, it's gonna keep him under the tower. A great play from Vader, gonna secure the kill for himself there. And Fanny didn't even need to pitch up at that point.
We are going to see a little bit of pressure. Tyrant's deciding he wants to go for Kush, keep that little bit of damage. Oh, and he might actually get a kill on her. Oh, but he does not.
Tyrant's Rage.
Beautiful.
Tyrant's Rage just barely missing out.
But even though they didn't get a kill, that wasn't a full loss because they did manage to take that first inner turret, which is exactly what I was saying earlier. Once you're able to take that first inner mid turret, you open up your ability to safely start your jungle invasions.
Exactly that. Fanny is just crying, just begging Kufra, begging Kush to let her have access to at least like one more blue buff before this game ends. As you can see, the Kufra jungle pick, like the counter pick him even, it's working, man. I don't know what else to say.
I'll tell you what, man. It's some of these players that are just so good at this game that just make me feel like maybe I should just never try to professionally play again because I feel like I'm just not good enough.
I mean, I guess shout out to Team WND for giving us some inspiration to try some things. That being said, I still don't want to see the Kufra jungle in my team and in my games. Thank you very much. As much as it might look good here, please do not curse us with that fate.
Don't try this at home, kids. And I'll tell you what, big shout out again to WND for giving me depression and
Oh man.
Yeah, we do see a little bit of a push coming from the Fanny, trying to take advantage of, again, exactly what I said earlier, that split push capability, hoping to take that second tier. I think she's going to be able to do it. Hopefully, Deerth can just take an extra second and get out of there.
But she's not going to do it.
Oh, man. So sad.
Oh, yeah, if she stayed a second longer, she would have been out of that game. I'm pretty sure with the Kufra, with that bouncy ball. Oh, Navaria actually trying for the snipe, but just slightly off the mark in terms of the timing.
Oh, Leslie popping the ultimate snipe. Not to try to get the Tigreal, but to keep that vision on him.
Oh yeah, I mean, you always want to keep the vision on Tigreal. You don't have access to a Diggy on your team, so it's going to be up to Mr. Jades to make that set in order for Starllfall to come back into the game with.
So at 8 minutes into the match, we are seeing 9-6 with a 24,000 gold to a 21,000 gold in favor of WND. We are going to see that Antique Curious starting to be picked up by the Deerth, which is exactly what I said before is going to open up opportunities for him to sustain those fights long term.
Okay. We're going to see the Blazing Duet coming out, but Toke gets shut down by Merciless, true to his name, not letting him being literally merciless for Claude. The red buff, it's going to get contested here. Fanny maybe swooping in to try and contest it here. Oh, she does get the kill onto Dyroth, but she falls to the burst damage from Leslie. The final slash, it connects even with the flicker. A great play from Vader.
Man, oh man. And this is exactly what we were looking for the first game. Not that super one-sided nature, but it does look like Team Starllfall, back into it, showing face and, not wasting any time. Paul taking a whole lot of damage.
Did you see that damage from Kufra? Like, what?
Yeah. Oh my God. Absolutely insane.
Do you mind maybe just having a quick look again at the items? I didn't manage to pay attention to them. From Kufra, he's going for this Thunderbolt. Well, there it is. There it is, boys. You're seeing it live right here. Blade of Despair being built by Kush. This is incredibly unique, and I've never seen it before.
Yeah, honestly, I am so surprised with, again, some of those picks. Seeing that Kufra at all in the jungle is just something that is just so, it almost feels unnatural.
and natural and illegal. That you know, it's like this forbidden jutsu that they're bringing out here. I mean, you should this shouldn't be allowed to be working, you know.
I'll tell you what, though, although WND does has the positive push and control over the map, by no means is this match over. Starllfall definitely still having a lot of characters that are so capable long term. Once you especially start building up that Navaria, some of that burst damage is going to be absolutely huge in her ability to fight back against characters like Leslie and that Deerth as well.
Oh yeah, I mean it's gonna be up to, as I said, it's all eyes on Jades, man. If he lands that set, they can come back into this game. Oh, Kufra maybe going in here does miss out his first skill. Maybe he wants to hit the Tyrant's Rage onto Paul. No, oh, he's gonna get pushed back. This might be an opportunity to kill him. He's not that tanky because he is building a bunch of damage. Here we go to see the Minoan Fury. It comes straight away out. It's gonna land on 3. They do get the Claude kill. Maybe. Oh, wow. Just maybe they get the kill.
Beautiful
the Lunox,
gameplay.
But it's just gonna be short.
Beautiful gameplay from WND. And honestly, I want to take a second to really just recognize what we saw Kush do. What Kush did wasn't searching for that fight. You know, they did manage to take that fight to them and benefit from that fight. But the big thing that it looked like to me like he was trying to do was taking the team's pressure off of the Lord to guarantee some turret pushes. Because now we see that second tier turret gone and we see minions on every side of the map trying to put some pressure. And with them already having a gold lead, they are absolutely in a position where they can punish.
There it is. There's Implosion. It's onto 2. It might not be enough, though, as they're going to get 1 member, 2 members taken out here. And Lunox just pumping the damage, just pumping it in. Did a double kill for herself as well. And Team WND, they don't have the tools to defend the high ground anymore. Although they don't have the minions to push just yet, though.
I'll tell you what, though, these WND guys, man, getting ready to pump the jam, pump it up while their feet are stomping. 8,000 gold lead for WND, really looking to seal the deal with this. You know, still having all 3 of their inner turrets left. The Starllfall folks are definitely still in this matchup, but they've got some work to do, because if they continue to look for these straight up fights, they're absolutely going to get punished and the game is going to end. They need to play smart, they need to play smooth and across the map, and again, utilize the different heroes that they have. Again, the Claude, the Fanny, the Navaria, the Arlet, different heroes that are shifty and can move.
Oh yeah, for sure. Almost just getting the kill into Leslie there. That would have been pretty huge for Fanny to pick up. And Minotaur in the front lines once again, just being a menace. But yeah, I mean, this game, as you said, it's pretty even. It's going to be up to Fanny and Jades, isn't it?
Yeah, it's tough, man, because it's still any team's game.
There it is, the Implosion. It does land onto 2. The Minoan Fury comes out as well. A mega kill for this Lunox, just blows up this Tigreal. The Blazing Duet, it's not going to do anywhere near enough damage to bring them back into the game. Kufra does fall, but that will cost them 4 members to take. Fanny maybe gets the kill. A great kill from Fanny, maybe saving them from this game. It's going to be close, though.
Yeah, Fanny trying to feather them off, just trying to keep those minions safe a little bit longer, but to no avail. Lord is now up, and only Fanny is up for the side of Starllfall.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, it's okay. That will secure themselves as in like making them still in the game here. They haven't lost just yet, but we're gonna see Lord. It's gonna be that enhanced Lord. It's gonna be scary. Lunox, just no season hunter, by the way. Still doing ungodly amounts of damage. Luton, what are you doing? What is this hero?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, there's just so much going on that it's so hard to keep up with everything that's happening. Both the teams are doing a really good job at splitting up the map, and these team fights are just popping off all over the map, and it's just so hard to keep up with. Just so much pressure coming from WND.
Oh man, almost getting caught there by Merciless. And they're going to attempt another high ground push with this Lord here. And hopefully they can end out the game for Team WND. Starllfall need to play this so well in order to stay in this game.
Paul getting a beautiful evasion.
Yeah, I mean, that's one way to evade it, is just not exist in the map anymore.
Yeah, I mean, kind of.
WND not pushing the waves in too well here, although it is up to Fanny to sort of defend themselves from the bottom angle. We're going to see Minotaur maybe wanting to go in here, set up a set for his team. I mean, he's going to try his best. It's going to be a bit of a stalemate here. Kufra goes in. Just hunting. Here we go, Jades with a big approach here. But the Minotaur, he's going to go in. He's going to get the stun onto 2, but there's no follow-up. As the final slash, it does bring the multiple members of Team WND in. This is a quite intense fight here. And Fanny going to go in, going to try and clap the kills. It's going to be a wipeout for Team Starllfall. A triple kill for Fanny.
Beautiful gameplay from Starllfall. Beautiful gameplay for Starllfall. Almost, it's crazy though, because after all of that work, they still have that little separation in gold. Now the question is going to come down to is, how far can they push with the advantage of time that they have right now?
It's quite a long amount of time, I'll tell you that. I must say the biggest play in that team fight was that final slash from Vader. It just totally wrecked, just took them by surprise and didn't allow for any other errors to happen. Are they going to push in 2 lanes here? Maybe they can get 3. I think they will.
Beautiful job getting those inner turrets. I definitely think that's going to open up a little bit of ability to start fighting back and start trying to reclaim the long term of this match.
Oh yeah, it's going to definitely be like excuse me, they're making it sort of equal ground for each other here, catching up on items as we can see. Oh, they're going to secure blue buff. Fanny, I'm sorry. I'm just so sorry. No more blue buff for you.
30 seconds left before this Lord comes up. I definitely think with the way that things are going, you know, only being 3,000 gold behind now, I definitely think Starllfall is being put back into a position where as long as they can play smart, they might be able to, you know, not only contest, but potentially take this next Lord, which would absolutely open up their ability to put a whole lot of pressure down. And, you know, I don't want to say win the match, but at least try, because this has been a very one-sided match for this entire mid portion of it. And now that we're reaching the late portion of the game, we're going to be able to see some really good fights.
Okay, this is going to be the fight of the game. I'm pretty sure if Team Starllfall can win this fight, they might have a really good shot of winning this. We're going to see the Minoan Fury does land onto 2. The Blazing Duet, it's sort of out of range. It's not going to be able to do enough damage. Duroth misses his ulti. Tigreal with his immortality is going to get popped. Oh, but Leslie maybe gets the kill. His teammate's going to save him, though.
Beautiful team play coming through, man. Just shooing off that damage from the Leslie, shutting down the ultimate snipe. Beautiful job.
This is a huge kill. This is a huge kill if they can get it. Monster kill for Fanny. They do pick it up, and Fanny does a drive-by, gets the Minotaur as well. Kush in a bit of danger. It's going to be a triple kill for Fanny there. Oh, man. Beautiful
gameplay. Now, at this point, do you think that they're better off trying to secure this team fight or just putting a whole lot of pressure down?
Oh, I mean, they just need to, all I know is that they need to get this Lord and get it fast, man. It's just an unbelievable comeback. And if they just need to stay calm, you know, if they make another slip up, you know, the game could fall from their hands at this point. It's all about just playing these team fights the way they are consistently.
58,000 gold to 58.7 thousand gold. We're going to see Starllfall for the first time in this match in the lead.
Oh yeah, true. I mean, they haven't been able to, they got completely stomped the first game, but these picks are definitely sort of resonating with themselves a bit more, as you like to say, with that meta pick sort of analogy, that this Fanny is definitely feeling the comfort right now.
Yeah, it's sad to see Leslie just popped her ultimate snipe on Tigreal, not really getting any damage off. Not having that tool coming into a Lord pressure might be something that she regrets.
I mean, I don't know how I feel about this Kufra high ground. It's been doing really well of countering this Fanny so far, but he hasn't been able to catch her. You know, once those cables are a bit of a higher level, he's got a bit more mobility to maybe dodge out the bouncing ball. As now, Team Starllfall, they're looking to maybe end this game in this next push.
Yeah, but at the same time, WND doing a fantastic job of feathering these guys off and keeping them off the towers. They do manage to take one with it, but that might be the only one they secure from it.
Consistency, man. If they can consistently play like this, no more mistakes. They really, really want this win right now.
Yeah, but right now it's still anybody's game. You know, the map is finally equal. Finally equal.
I mean, it's a big breath of fresh air for sure. Okay, blue buff being contested here. I don't know where Fanny is. She probably has one for herself here. Or she's going to get gone on by Darath, though. Just equalizing that push.
Oh, Kush trying to get his hands on Jades.
Oh, I mean, he wants to. He wants to secure that buff for himself as well. But the final slash, it's going to bring Kush out of position. And Minotaur gets taken out as well.
That's
Oh
tough.
my.
That's tough.
Oh my
Oh
God.
man, that is
Vader.
really not good for WND.
Vader just single-handedly keeping them in the game right now, although they do get the Novaria in the back there, which is a pretty big kill, honestly. Ooh, actually, we're going to see a bit of an engagement here going on to this Daroth. He's going to be able to get away, but all out straight away into the mix of it. He's going to keep himself safe a little bit here. Leslie out of position. She wants to try and stay alive here, but she does.
Leslie!
Oh, my
Raining
God.
hellfire on the side of Starllfall, taking 1, 2, 3, 4. Kill it now. That is crazy, dude.
You can't underestimate this late game Leslie, man. You 1 minute, 1 second you're alive, the next second you just got hit by Leslie, you know.
Yeah, that's tough, man. Paul's got to get there fast. 5 seconds to go before Fanny's stuck. Oh, and Fanny just eating it.
Oh, she's gonna die here. So there's got the winter trudge in play.
Oh, but it wasn't enough. Leslie puts him down. Leslie not wasting any time.
Oh, that was a really sick winter trudge in play. But it's not gonna be enough. Leslie's just gonna have the freedom to hit the base and give Team WND the second win and the victory of the series. Unless it's a best of 5. Correct me on that.
I think this is a best of 3. We'll have to get clarification from that, but I believe that this was a best of 3 because it's the semifinals.
Right.
It might be. I think we might have to get some.
Out.
Yeah. Man, I'll tell you what though, dude. What crazy gameplay was that?
Oh my God.
Those team fights, oh man, they were right back to back. WND did such a crazy job of putting up so much pressure across all portions of the map. Like, I'm looking at the game and I'm trying to keep up with different fights that are going on, and it feels so impossible. It feels like no matter where I go, I'm a little bit behind because there's just so many explosions happening all over the map. I'll tell you what, it's a good thing I'm not a host because teams like that would probably put me out of a job.
Yeah, for sure. Oh man, Team Starllfall, they definitely underestimated that Leslie just towards the end of that game. I mean, they just got blown up. I mean, that was the deciding factor for them to lose that opportunity to come back.
Man, I tell you what though, I definitely thought Starllfall was going to take it right there at the end with all of those explosive team fights coming from them, and then the way that they were starting to recontrol the map and win a lot of these small fights really was pretty insane. I genuinely thought that they were going to take it at that last portion, and then they met Leslie. They took Leslie one-on-one under a turret and just almost wiped.
A final thought from myself here is MVP, though, I must say, even though he was on the losing side, Vader was keeping him single-handedly in the game of game 2 there with those insane final slashes, man. This guy is really, really good, and he's impressed me with his all-out performance.
Absolutely. Vader was absolutely killing it, and his ult placements were just so good. They were just so good, but at the end of the day, Leslie had one good fight. Just one really good fight, and that was enough to just end the whole game.
Oh man. But yeah, I guess that's the end of the series, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Yeah, that's about that's about it for me. I mean, I guess I might as well end it off by saying, yeah, you guys will catch me participating in maybe hopefully more tournaments here, casting for FCT, maybe some T9, and yeah, and obviously I'm from South Africa. There's a whole bunch of tournaments for you guys to check out, and
yeah, absolutely. And Sepp, it was great having you here. We were so happy for today's semifinals. I think we're going to be seeing WND and the Nine Thieves meeting up against each other in the finals next Saturday. I really look forward to it. I'm really excited for it, and I can't wait. So with that being said, we're going to end the stream here, folks. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And remember, don't do drugs.
I was going to say something along those lines as well. But yeah, don't do